History Tap viewers, have you ever wondered how people lived before we had refrigerators, stoves, natural gas, washing machines, and all the modern conveniences we take for granted today? Imagine a world without these appliances. How did people cook, preserve food, clean their clothes, and manage their daily lives? Today, we'll take a journey back in time to explore life before these modern marvels. Before the invention of stoves and natural gas, cooking and heating were done over open fires or in hearths. People used wood or coal as fuel, and managing these fires was an essential daily task. Homes had large fireplaces, and families cooked in pots and pans that hung over the flames or rested on grates. In some cultures, brick or clay ovens were built to bake bread and other foods. These ovens were heated by burning wood inside and then using the residual heat to cook. This method required a lot of skill to maintain the right temperature and avoid burning the food. Without refrigerators, preserving food was a challenge, and people had to be resourceful to keep their food from spoiling. Meat and fish were often salted or smoked to preserve them. Salt drew out moisture, preventing bacteria from growing, while smoking added a layer of protection and flavor. Fruits, vegetables, and grains were dried in the sun or fermented. Drying reduced the water content, while fermenting used natural bacteria to preserve the food. Cool storage areas like root cellars were dug into the ground to keep vegetables fresh. In colder climates, ice houses stored large blocks of ice cut from lakes and rivers during winter to keep perishables cool in the warmer months. Washing clothes was a labor-intensive process before the invention of washing machines. Clothes were scrubbed by hand using washboards and soap made from animal fat and lye. In some cultures, clothes were boiled in large pots to clean them. After boiling, they were beaten against rocks or wooden paddles to remove dirt. Clothes were then hung out to dry on lines, which took longer and depended on the weather. This process required a significant amount of time and physical effort, and it was often done by women as part of their daily chores. The production of food and goods was much more hands-on and local before industrial manufacturing. Most people lived in rural areas and grew their own food. Harvesting was done by hand or with simple tools, and the whole community often participated. Clothes, tools, and household items were often handmade. Craftsmen and artisans created goods in small workshops, relying on their skills and manual labor. Goods that couldn't be produced locally were traded in markets. People bartered or used early forms of money to exchange goods and services. This meant that people were more connected to the sources of their food and goods, and they had a deeper understanding of the processes involved. Life was more labor-intensive and community-oriented before modern conveniences. Each day was filled with chores like gathering firewood, fetching water from wells or rivers, and maintaining the home and farm. Neighbors often helped each other with big tasks like building barns, harvesting crops, or preserving food. This fostered strong community bonds. Life was more attuned to the seasons. People had to prepare for winter by preserving food and ensuring they had enough supplies to last through the cold months. Seasonal activities like planting, harvesting, and preserving food dictated the rhythm of daily life, and people had to be adaptable and resilient to survive. While life before modern conveniences was undoubtedly more challenging, it was also a time of great ingenuity and community spirit. People developed clever methods to manage daily tasks and relied on each other to survive and thrive. So, next time you use your refrigerator or washing machine, take a moment to appreciate the hard work and creativity of those who lived before us. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, please like, share, and subscribe to History Tap for more fascinating stories from our past. See you next time.